Good morning and welcome back to Study IQ. I am Prashant Mawani. I hope you all are doing good. Today is 6th June and let's see what we have got in the Hindu today. But before that, a positive start. Sadly, it's much easier to create a desert than a forest. It's true, isn't it? It takes creative people. It takes a creative nature, right? Nature, when I'm saying nature, I'm not talking about this natural world. I'm talking about a person's or a community's nature, the way they think, the way they see things, right? So it takes this creativeness to create beauty around us. But nowadays we are cocooned in this, you can say, economic world, making money and development that is taking away all this biodiversity, or in fact destroying our ecosystem, is something that has become very normal thing. And if this is the way we are going, then it is not going to be sustainable. It is not going to be healthy for us in terms of our life. And if forests, if this ecosystem is going down, then we are going down with them as well. With this difference, we have many important articles. This is about a life in plastic. United Nations or the world celebrated this Environment Day yesterday. Very important item, this one. Then you have this another item. It is about moorings of Jammu and Kashmir, preventing the next health crisis. We'll go through it. This one is about India and Pakistan. This one about India and Pakistan. This one is about ICICI. I will leave it on you guys, this particular article, to go through. Apart from that, I will explain all the other articles. With this, dear friends, I'm not sure if you are aware about this thing. New students, I would like to highlight or draw your attention to this thing, that Study IQ provides pen drive and tablet courses for various different exams. As you can see on your screen, we cover UPSC, SSC and bank courses, NABARD, RBI professional courses, State Public Service Commission courses are covered as well. You have law, UGC net courses, SSC, JE courses, railway, UPSC, optional papers are covered as well, and you have defense examination. Apart from that, you have teaching exams, test series is out there as well. So make sure you check out studyiq.com. It will help you immensely. They are designed by best faculties of our country, and the good news is that at present, as we are speaking, 50% discount is available on our pen drive and tablet courses. This is going to last till 8th June, so make the most out of it. With this difference, if you want to get in touch with me, this is my Facebook page, this is my Twitter handle. If you genuinely think that you have learned something from today's discussion, right, then don't forget to hit the like button and do share this lecture with other people as well. This will help those people, as well as it will help us to reach maximum students who require this sort of analysis on regular basis. With this, dear friends, let's start with our first item, that is life in plastic. Now, you can see on your screen, this is India 2018. I'm sure you are aware about this thing. We talked about this thing yesterday, that this 2018's World Environment Day, the host country is our country, India. The theme this year is Beat Plastic Pollution. And remember one thing, that this World Environment Day is celebrated by United Nations Environment Program. So keep this thing in mind as well. It is not just about any particular country, it is about the whole world. Now, India is, I'm not sure if you are aware about this thing, we are one of the major producer of plastic waste in the world. We are, as far as this production of plastic is concerned, if I'm not wrong, we are number 3 in the world. As far as we are number 7 in the world at present, but by 2020 we will be number 3 in terms of plastic production. Now, the biggest problem with plastic products is that it's basically plastic waste is big problem. The other thing is recycling, right? The thing that we can do, but that is not taking place in our country. To be honest, we use too much of this use and throw sort of plastic, right? Even today we find this plastic bags. Plastic bags are harmful. We know about this thing from last 10 to 15 years, right? As far as our personal life is concerned, we are being told about this thing, that they are dangerous, right? Plastic bags. But still we are using it. This thing is easily available everywhere. In few places you find people using these paper bags, but all across board, if you go, you will find plastic bags. There is no sort of thing that is going on in our country. And I'm being very blunt here. I'm being very honest here, right? I think it was yesterday when we were talking about tobacco, I told you about this plastic packages, right, that they use to tie this tobacco products like pans and other things. And people are chucking this plastic here and there, and you find this thing everywhere in our country. So first of all, we need to control this supply side, right? We have to work on demand and supply, both these things, right? Pull and push, both these factors should work together. Only then we would be able to change this status quo. Now, Union Environment Minister has said that this time government is very serious to follow this theme, this beat plastic pollution. It's very serious. But to be honest, I have heard about this sort of things many a times from many different ministers. So this time, if they can do something, if they can prove that they have reasonably, or if they can come out, means things that we can see, right, in our day-to-day life, if we can see this change, then we can believe it, or else it's just going to be another statement. Because the thing is that the reason, I believe one reason is that see, government will not take this sort of decision. If we just talk about the state of Gujarat, right, because a couple of days ago I delivered a lecture, current affairs lecture. It is in Gujarati, but I'll give you a couple of facts that will help you. We are talking about plastic here. Just in Gujarat, you find somewhere around, right, somewhere around 30 lakh people are engaged directly and indirectly in plastic production factories, right? They are associated with this business. So you cannot, if you stop this plastic productions, and so many people are going to lose their job. So no government will take this action. Like, you don't have any other option, do you, to try to migrate them from one place to another. So this is another, this could be one of the reasons. The other thing is that solid waste management rules and plastic waste management rules of 2016, they are just on paper. Nothing is taking place in reality. As far as our central government is concerned, the figures that central government provides us is that 60% of all the plastic, that is produced is collected by the government. 60%, that is 25,000 ton, is collected by government. The other thing is 10,000 ton of plastic, means when you are collecting 60,000, that means 10,000 ton is this rubbish pile that is not treated, that is loosely everywhere in our environment, that is entering into our river bodies, our oceans, everywhere in our soil as well. And one more thing that we have to understand here is that, do you think that all this plastic, this 60% or this 25,000 ton that is collected by government, do we scientifically process all this collected plastic? The answer is a big no. United Nations has a map of 10 worldwide rivers that are creating this, or that are carrying this plastic waste into ocean. Of course, it is destructive for this river, as well as it's destructive for this ocean and biodiversity of ocean as well. And based on this ocean and river, you have so many people's life associated directly and indirectly with it. So this belt here, this Ganga Brahmaputra river system, which is here on your screen, this is Ganga belt here, or you can say this Ganga basin region, this is Brahmaputra basin region, and Meghna is a river that you find in Bangladesh. So these are the three, one of the top 10 system that carry huge amount of plastic in this Bay of Bengal, or you can say in Indian Ocean water. Nowadays, I'm not sure if you have gone through this special video lecture on microplastics. I talked about this thing that we find this microplastics in this bottled water. Generally, we pay premium price, 20 rupees, 25 rupees. Many times in talkies and other areas, theaters, you have to pay 50 rupees, MRP of 50 rupees per liter of water. Can you imagine this thing? Now, if you pay this much amount, and what you find is that it has got microplastics in it, and this microplastics, they do enter our body, and then they create all these sort of diseases, right? Cancer and other things. So this is a big problem. Special video lecture is available on this thing. If you want to know more about it, then we have environmentally minded, and we have communities and people who are setting good example. But this is one of the most important statement that you can take with you today. Voluntary efforts cannot achieve what systemic reform can. That means, of course, we should cherish this voluntary efforts by these communities and this enlightened people, right? They segregate their waste, they don't chuck things here and there. Many times they will pick up trash thrown by other people. But this is something that is not going to change. We need systematic reform on this thing. And let me throw a question to you. What are the steps that we can take to change the things that are going on as far as this rubbish issue is concerned? There are so many things, right? I think we have talked about this thing as well. Let me give you a small example. Like last year, during this Mumbai floods, right? Urban floods. One of the big issue that was not discussed that oftenly, but this was one of the reasons why. See, naturally there was high tide, there was too much of rain in a very short period of time. At the same time, this gutter system was blocked because of plastic. This was a big issue. Because of this thing, this gutter water was not able to be transported from one place to another, and this created this urban flood. You can also imagine that after this flood, this disease outbreak, so many people getting ill and all these things. So you have the second inning as well. All these things are associated with rubbish, isn't it? Leave it on you guys. I reckon I'm sure I will find some good answers from you, as I do find it on regular basis. Next item is about familiar moorings. This is about world geopolitics. It's more about balance. What India is trying to achieve, India is trying to make a fine balance. And why or how it is trying to make a fine balance? First of all, let's try to address this why we want or why we are concerned about this balance. Because the thing is, you have these three major powers, right? You have USA, you have China, and you have Russia. Now the thing is that USA has many countries, right, are supporting USA. They are allies, as they call it, or you can say best buddies of USA. They will do what USA will ask them to do. And this is not any sort of mythical thing that we are talking about. This is a reality. Then you have China. Nowadays, China has invested huge amount of money in different parts of the world. By the way, before moving ahead, let me tell you one thing. Yesterday, I saw a couple of comments regarding voice quality. You were not able to hear things. I have checked in my laptop, in my other devices, tablet and phone as well, and I was not I was able to hear it, everything as good as possible. I was not able to find any problem with voice quality regarding yesterday's video. So if you have any issue, then I will reckon check your device, or the best way to listen to this particular video lecture, or any of my video lecture, or any video lecture in fact, is to plug in your headphones, right? I will reckon you guys to plug in your headphones. The good thing about headphone is that you will not be struggling to listen, right? You will hear everything as clearly as possible. The second thing is that it will protect you or give you this immunity from disturbance as well. So headphone, that's what I think, that's what I have found beneficial for me. If it is working for you, then do give it a go. Use headphones all the time, right? So now informal summit, we were talking about China, isn't it? So China has invested huge amount of money in different parts of the world. We have talked about Chinese colonization as well, and when a country is investing in your country, when it is building roads and dams, and it is bringing new business in, setting up factories and providing jobs to your people, of course you will find this politically as well. These two countries will come together. So you have nowadays many countries that are under the belt of China as well. They are in team of China. Russia, same thing applies to Russia too. So what we are trying to say here is that we have three big powers, right? They are part of United Nations Security Council, and you know how powerful they are. They are engaged in different parts of the world. In West Asia, in East Asia, they are stakeholders and things like that. So enough has been said about this power. So they are, like USA recently came out with this warning that it is going to apply sanctions on Russia, and it is going to apply this tariff barriers on this China. China said that this is not going to be helpful. Now China and Russia are close friends at present, so things are going to be a bit disturbed, and we don't want to see this sort of disturbances going on, because we as a country, we want to see globalization. We want to make some money. We want to use this money for the development of our country. So we want a fine world where we can play, or we can engage with all these three powers. We don't want to just stick with USA and spoil our relationship with Russia and China. And this is something that we can do, because we have got a demand, we have got democracy, and we have got demography in our country. The size of our country, the demand of our people is so huge that no country in the world can ignore India at present. All these three countries, they need India more than India needs these three countries. So we can play with all these three countries. When I say play, I'm using this terminology positively. I'm not saying that we should be engaged in a sort of dirty games with them. They do, all the countries do these things, right? They will first of all look after their own back. We will calculate what we are going to get out of this deal. Only after that we will think about other countries. This is something that happens. I'm not talking about all those cases where we are giving money for charity and when we are helping other countries. You have to play or switch different hats at different point of time. So anyways, this is the thing, and this is one of the reasons why we saw these two informal summits taking place. This is a very new way of engaging with different countries. The first informal summit took place between India and China, the second one between India and Russia, and it is said that we are going to carry on this informal meetings with other countries as well. So this uncertainty that is going on because of this power struggle between these three countries has created, or this is one of the reasons why India is trying to keep this fine balance. We want to see this, particularly this Indo-Pacific region that you can see here. This is Indo region, this is Pacific region, and we want to see, make sure that it is free for navigation, free for use for everyone, smooth flow of things are going on. We are also part of this Quad at present, 4 countries of Quad. If you don't know, then I will leave it on you guys. Find out the name of 4 Quad countries and stick your answer in the comment section of this video. With this, we are also part of Shanghai Cooperation Organization that is led by China. So step by step, we are entering into different arenas, and we are trying to keep a fine balance. Now, recently, Prime Minister Modi was in 3 countries that you can see on your screen. Indonesia, he was in Malaysia, and he was in Singapore as well. During his interaction with his counterparts, he has talked about open and free for navigation South China Sea. He talked about Indo-Pacific region, importance of Indo-Pacific region. Prime Minister also talked about importance of ASEAN region, and it reminds us about this Bandung spirit of 1955. If you don't know what Bandung spirit of 1955 is, it was this place. Bandung is a place in Indonesia where a meeting of different countries back in 1955 took place, and this is the place from where you can say the birth of non-aligned movement took place. India played a very important role. Mr. Nehru and Mr. Menon particularly Mr. Menon played a very important role in this Bandung spirit, and since then we are associated with non-aligned movement, and non-aligned movement was again for keeping this balance. One of the main role, apart from other things, one of the main job of this non-aligned movement was to keep a fine balance between this bipolar world that was there at that point of time. Anyways, moving on to another item, preventing the next health crisis. It is talking about state of nutrition in our country. Recently, government said that it is going to release this annual state of nutrition report very soon. And if we go through this report, then we find that 26 million children in our country are suffering from this thing called wasting. What is wasting all about? Wasting means a low weight for height ratio. So you are tall enough, but your weight is basically, you are very skinny. And this is a big problem in our country. Now, this is not the only problem. If we go through all these issues associated with nutrition, then we find that we have maximum number of stunted children in our country. We have maximum number of this wasted children in our country. We have second biggest population of obese children in our country. After China, we are number 2, right? As far as in general obese people is concerned, I think USA is number 1. Europe as well, European Union is number 2, but more and more people are getting obese in our country as well, which is a very sad thing. First thing it indicates, yesterday we were talking about food security, and what we can learn from this obesity is that, or this wasting or stunting, is that just having enough food is not enough, isn't it? We have talked about this thing earlier on as well. You need a balanced diet. If you think that you are eating a full plate, right? If you are getting stuffed and you are eating things or food 3 times a day or 4 times a day, that is not going to help you. You have to have this fine balance, right? Green vegetables, fruits, milk, and veg, non-veg. It depends what you prefer. One of the most important thing that people are missing, and I have read a very good book on nutrition, And this book, if I can tell you the gist of fine or balanced diet, is that you should eat what is good for your genes, and you should eat items based on your geography. So if you are Punjabi, Punjabi food is best for you. If you are Gujarati, Gujarati food is best for you, rather than coping or eating something from South India. Once at times, here and there, once a fortnight, once a month, it's not bad. Every day is going to destroy you. Now the thing is, because of this obesity, right? Obesity puts huge amount of pressure on this our health system, and obesity creates this non-communicable diseases, which is a big problem in our country. People are spending so much of their time on sofas and in front of computer or on a chair. They hardly do any sort of workout. Lifts are there everywhere in the building. So many things, right? Even if they have to go from one place to another, it will take just 100-meter distance away place or destination. They will take their motorcycles or scooties or other things. So this is unhealthy way of living. It gives or it opens this hellish door of cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, chronic respiratory diseases, and cancer as well. So what we need to do is we need to work on different ways, or it should be a holistic policy. What we are producing, are we producing enough of this bajra and this millets and other items? Are we supplying it? Too much of rice and wheat is also not going to be that helpful. We need to add this sort of items as well, this bajra and millet and ragi and other items. They have got this micronutrients in them. Then we can have a higher tax on junk food. Junk food should be very expensive. Yes, I'm using the word very. It should be very expensive. So if you feel that you want to eat it on regular basis, it should be very painful for your pocket. They add so many things in it that are not healthy at all. The other thing is the more people getting this NCDs, right, non-communicable diseases, it is also, there are many reports out there that indicates that it is kicking this or it is adding motion to this wheel of poverty in our country. Because of NCDs, more people will have to take expensive medicines, hospital expenses and other things, and because of this thing, they have to sell something and something. You know it very well that a person who is suffering from cardiac disease or something, right, generally developed because of a bad lifestyle, they have to spend huge amount of money if you take them to this multi-speciality hospitals in city area. So what we need is we need policies, we need new ways of thinking, new lifestyle. There should be parks and walking space. We have to work on the culture. It is very strange that we are eating, we are eating so much of junk, so much of unnecessary food, and then we are trying to burn our calories. One more interesting observation I would like to share with you is that today in this world, we are living in a world that this much food was never available to any generation of human beings, right? We have got everything we want. If you are having low vitamins or something, you can eat olive oils or whatever, right? There are so many things available in shelf. The thing is, we have to be very you can say choosy, like what we are eating and what we are ignoring. Very important. Now moving on, a tale of two countries. It is about India and Pakistan. Very interesting observations here. Of course it ends with a sad thing. And anyways, this one, a tale of two countries, is about India and Pakistan. Expected when our countries when we got independence and when we had this partition, it was believed that we are going to be two identical twins. Things are going to be exactly the same in Pakistan and India. But in Pakistan, what we saw is that after this independence or partition, right, governor generals or president, they were the ones who were in charge. They took all this control in their hand. Control was outside the parliament, and later on, it was this political or this army generals, they were the ones who took control of Pakistan for a very long period of time. As far as India is concerned, we chose this doctrine of civilian supremacy. Army was or is not supreme. It is a civilian government, or you can say parliament, that is supreme in terms of army and parliament. So we adopted this doctrine of civilian supremacy. Now, as far as this ideology and the way things are going on in Pakistan is concerned, we know that army is very powerful. We have been talking about this thing for a very long period of time now. But what we find nowadays is that India has started emulating or copying Pakistan. Nowadays, there are people in our country, right? Though there are few people, but there are people out there in our country, they are trying to promote this Hindu Rashtra agenda. And because of this thing, it is taking a toll on the image of government as well. Government is doing so many important works, but because of this sort of things, its image is getting tainted. The other thing is this is creating cracks in our society. And we don't need this sort of cracks in our society, because we are people who have, means we are secular not because of our constitution. Our constitution is secular because secularism has been part of Indian way of living for time immemorial, and we should as a community make sure that this fraternity, this love, brotherhood is there all the time, right, forever, for eternity in our country, because we are one of the best example. You see, when presidents or kings of Jordan or other countries, when they come here, they talk about India, they talk about unity in diversity. If you go to foreign countries, right, you will be amazed to know this thing. You will in fact fall in love with our country and our people, that we are living together. You find over there that people are skeptical about one community or another community, but when we observe, when we live there, and when we look back to our country, we find that we are it's magic, truly a magical thing, that everyone is sticking with each other and we are living happily with each other. But we should be very careful about, vigilant about this sort of troublemakers. Pakistan is a neighbor you can't wish away. I think something similar I talked about a couple of days ago, right? We cannot change our neighbor. What we can do is we need to change the way we are dealing with Pakistan. Or if we want to sort out this Kashmir issue, then we have to change the way we are dealing with people. This one is coming from this article. It is coming from basically an interview of former RAW chief. He has wrote a book on this Kashmir and Pakistan issue and things like that. So what he is saying, that we need to find right people in Pakistan to have a word with, and in Kashmir as well. We need to find right people with whom we can have a proper word. As far as Kashmiris are concerned, he said that Kashmiris don't want to go to Pakistan. They are seeking a good deal for themselves, and there is no harm in asking for a good deal. As far as Azadi is concerned, he said that for Kashmiris, Azadi means good accommodation, dignity, honor, and justice for all. With this, dear friends, I have got some important news item. I will recommend you guys to go through it in detail. Article 35A is mentioned on the first page. Army will abide by government peace plan has been said by Nirmala Sitharaman. Here is an example of supremacy of civilian government on army. 7th century sculpture of Shiva and Parvati is found. This one is a small item that you will find on the left hand side corner of Delhi edition, page number 5. Do go through it. You find this type of questions in your exams. And senior Air Force fighter pilot has been killed in Gujarat. Fortified rice likely through PDS. Are we missing something? Are we missing millets and bajra and ragi here? We need to think about this thing as well. Environment Day bouquet, 539 species discovered in India in 2017. This is you'll find many articles on page number 11. So I will recommend you guys to go through page number 11 in detail. Iran is going to boost uranium enrichment. Trade war, a lose-lose situation has been said by former RBI chief Raghuram Rajan. And government has said that we will achieve this 175 gigawatt renewable energy target before 2022. These are your answers. Answer is C and B. And I have got 2 questions for you guys. Go through it and also try to answer the question that I have asked you in the middle of this video. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to make the most out of this 50% discount. And if you have reached here, that means you have loved this video. Don't forget to hit the like button. It will motivate me. Do share it with other people. And of course, as you know that on regular basis, I will remind all of you guys that do look after your environment, right? Do look after your natural environment. Do care about your environment, and it will care about all of us. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day. Jai Hind.